So, can somebody remind me, what is an adverb? Give me the definition, Leah.
A word that modifies adjectives, verbs, and other adverbs.
Or another adverb, okay. And then who can tell me the 8 questions that an adverb answers? Becca?
How, when, where, why, to what extent, how often, how much, under what condition.
Okay, we're gonna have a flash mob. We're gonna do the little chant really quick. So you
Oh,
ready?
yeah.
We're
Is it
gonna
a rap?
wake up.
Oh,
Yes, catch on. You ready?
Wait.
1, 2, 3, go. How, when, where, why, to what extent, how often, how much, under what condition. How, when, where, why, to what extent, how often, how much, under what condition. Okay, that was good. Andrew, did you get the sheet that I sent you?
No.
Why, to what extent, how often, how much, under what condition. You guys are all in there. Okay, it's out of control. The runaway grammar train. Okay, Andrew.
I remember, Miss Childers.
What?
I remember.
Okay, yay, that's great. I will find another sheet for you. I don't have it. Okay, so you guys, this is going to be really important as we go into adverbs.
Wait, is this my
And
test?
we're actually not going to take notes on that sheet today. I just want to review, and we're going to talk about these
Wait,
questions.
is this my test?
That's your test.
Okay.
Are you happy?
I'm very
You
happy.
should be very happy.
Good job, Andrew.
This is 28.
See, you guys are so nice. Okay, it is the 28th. Did I change it? No, it's the 28th. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to go over this homework. I'm going to start with Addison. We are going, we've got a lot to go over, but I'm trying to do adverbs really incrementally because it gets deep very fast. So we're going to go through the answer. You're going to say, like for number 1, we did 1 and 2. So I'll do number 3, and then Addison, you'll pick up with 4. So number 3, seldom modifies loses, which is a verb. Okay? Oh,
Okay.
Becca, I wish I had another sheet for you. But I didn't. I mean, can you look on with Josie? Sure. That would be great. Okay, Addison, go ahead.
Unusually happy.
Okay, so just say unusually modifies happy, and what part of speech is that?
Unusually modifies happy
Oh, perfect.
and is an adjective.
And it is an adjective. Okay, Mariah, number 5.
Now modifies slice, and that's a verb.
Good. 6, John Carter?
Asked modifies
No.
wait no sorry so modifies fast.
And it's a
For adjective.
adverb. So fast is an adverb. Number 7, Amelia?
Always is modified enjoy and that is a verb.
And that's a verb. Number 8, Matt?
Oh, rather is modifying funny and it's an adjective.
Okay, so funny is an adjective.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Okay, number 9, Eli.
I got 2 modifies drowsy and verb.
Drowsy is an adjective. It's actually a predicate adjective. Okay? Number 10, Aiden.
Okay, so unusually modifies hard.
And hard is an adverb. It describes how they work. Good. Okay, 11, Charlotte.
Somewhat modifies enthusiastically. It's an adjective.
What is enthusiastically? It's an adverb. One of those old-fashioned ly adverbs. Josie.
I have a question about number 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, drowsy is an adjective?
It is. So I am. So there's that linking
Oh,
verb,
so that's-
drowsy. Drowsy describes I. It's an adjective.
Okay, so am is the verb? It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes. It's kind of hidden there in a conjunction. Good. Okay, 12, Andrew.
Let's see. So number 12. It is an adjective.
Okay, wait a second. What's the adverb and what does it modify?
Oh. Wait, am I on the right page?
You don't know because you printed them out separately. Yeah, this one, 12. So what does, let's see. What did I just tell you? 12. Okay, so what What does actually modify?
Hay.
Mm-mm.
Fever.
It modifies cause. It has to modify a verb or an adjective or an adverb. And what part of speech is cause, Charlotte?
A verb.
A verb. Good. 13. Aiden, did I already went that way. Okay, Becca, can you do 13?
Sure. Extremely, modifies fast.
And what's fast?
It is an adjective.
Adjective. Good. Okay, Ian, 14.
Tomorrow, modifies doubleheader.
Okay, so here's the tricky thing with adverbs, and this is a good time for me to say this. Adjectives have to be next to the word they modify. Adverbs can be anywhere in the sentence. So you have to ask yourself, tomorrow, what's going to happen tomorrow, Ian? Play. And it's a verb. Good. Okay. Josie, 15.
Properly is modifying speaks, and speaks is a verb.
Good. 16, Leah.
Dangerously is modifying narrow, and that's an adjective.
And that's an adjective. Good. It's dangerously narrow. 17, Hudson.
Really modifies capture.
And captures a
Verb.
good. Tracy, 18.
Less is modifying interesting, and interesting is an adjective.
Good. Dominic, 19.
Fully is modifying aware, and aware is
Aware is what?
a verb.
Okay, would you say aware, awared?
It could be like aware or something.
It's gonna be an adjective. This is one of those predicate adjectives. He was, there's a linking verb. What? Aware. Aware describes he. Who wants to do 20? Mariah?
Okay, occasionally is modifying eats, and that's a verb.
Good. Okay, does anybody have any questions on that side? Each worksheet gets a little progressively harder. So is this pretty straightforward? The big takeaway from yesterday is I wanted you to know that adverbs are more than ly words. So we talked about flexional and positive and negative. So any word that modifies a verb, adjective, or adverb. So let's go to the back side. I think we did the first two. Okay, well I'll do the first two, and then John Carter, I'm gonna ask you to do 3. So 2 you should have circled, and some people got circles and underlines confused, but arrived is the verb, it's modified by early, and it answers the question when. Okay?
So, what do we circle?
So circle arrived, underlines early. Okay, and then number 2, you should have circled run. It's modified by faster, and it answers the question how. How can I run faster?
Wait, what was the right? When?
When. Okay, so John Carter. So 3, just say what's the verb you circle, the adverb, and what question does it answer?
I circled sure, and then, very is the adverb. And is it, I said how, but I think that's wrong. I think it's to what extent.
It's to what extent. And let me just give you a clue, and we're gonna talk about this today. If it's modifying an adjective, a lot of times it's gonna be up to what extent, okay? Okay, Mariah, 4.
Okay, I circled believe, and underlined later, and I did when.
And it's when. When did I believe him? Later. Addison, 6. 5.
Okay, number 5 is team, and then 2, and 2 is only 1, or whatever. Team, or 2, whatever.
Okay, this one is really hard because slow is what you should have circled. That's an adjective, and 2 is your adverb underlined. What question does it answer, Addison? Too slow.
Hang on. Towards the.
To what extent? Okay? And I'm just gonna tell you, number 6 is the same thing. He is always early. Always is underlined. It modifies early. It answers to what extent. Okay, 7, Eli. Name the adverb and then what it's modifying.
I struggled on this one.
Yeah, this one is very hard. Does anybody feel strong about what they got? Mariah?
Alright, okay. Let's see. circled early, underlined always, and I said when.
Okay, that was 6, I just did that. 7.
Oh, 7?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I underlined here, and then I circled R,
That's right.
and I said where.
That's exactly right. So here's the tricky part. Places can become, they can be used as adverbs if they answer the question where. Okay, so here is your adverb and it modifies are. John Carter, I'm going to come back to you for number 8, just to keep your blood flowing.
What? I'm going now.
We're on number 8. What's the adverb? What's it modified?
Hard is the adverb, and then it's modifying work. And then
What question does it answer?
is it how?
How? How does he work? He works hard. Okay, Addison, 9.
So, has been, or there and has been.
Which one's the adverb?
The adverb is there.
Good. What question does it answer?
Where?
Where? Okay, just like here, it answers the question where. Okay, Eli, back to you, number 10.
The adverb is especially, or the
Yes.
adverbs, okay? And then I underline hard.
Okay, and what question does it answer?
To what extent?
To what extent? Very good. Okay, Matt, 11.
So I underlined slowly,
Uh-huh.
and I circled work.
Good. And what does it answer?
I think it's to what extent.
It's more about how. How do the boys work? They work slowly, okay? Uh-huh, Josie?
So, how can you tell the difference between to what extent and how? Because like,
Yeah.
especially hard, it could be how did they work especially?
Yeah, okay, so Josie's asked a really good question. How can you tell the difference if it's answering how or to what extent? So the first thing I want you to know with adverbs, it doesn't matter which of those questions they answer, and often they will answer more than one question, okay? Now, we're doing this on this exercise, it does matter. And there is a way you can tell the difference between to what extent and how. How is always gonna modify a verb, okay? That question, and typically to what extent is going to be an adverb modifying an adjective or another adverb. It's gonna be really, especially, rarely, very. So it's kind of emphasizing to what extent, how far. Okay? Josie, does that make sense?
Kinda.
Kind of. So on number 11, how did they work? They worked slowly. And then when we look at 10, yeah, the math problem is especially hard. How is it hard? That doesn't really tell you how it's hard. It's not it was hard because it had trigonometry. It's to what extent. It's especially. It kind of shows a degree.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what today's lesson is going to be on. So that should make more sense. Where am I? Did I do you, Aiden? Okay, 12. I did. Okay, I'll come back to you.
This one was confusing, but I underlined now, and I circled shall and do.
Good. So now is your adverb and it answers what question? When. So those when and where are hard. Okay, Charlotte. Where are we? 13. What's the adverb?
How did I get this really wrong? I circled was expertly.
Well, you got it half right. Expertly is your adverb, and what's the verb it describes? Was made. Okay, those two things. Okay, it splits the verb. And what questions does that answer? How. Good. Okay, Andrew, 14.
I rushed on this one, so I don't know if it's gonna be right or not.
It's okay.
Okay, so I underlined never,
Good. What's it modifying?
you,
It's modifying the verb.
believe.
Believe. Or you could have said will believe. And what question does it answer?
To what extent?
To what extent? Okay? So again, it's measuring degree. Okay.
I thought that was like a win.
So did
I
I.
thought it was a win.
How is never a win?
Cause when
Will he believe you?
When-
Never.
Yeah, when
Exactly,
will
that's
she
what I
believe you?
said.
Let's just go with Claxton.
Okay, it's, a when would be, that just doesn't really refer to a time. That is really a to what extent. And let me give you another little caveat. Those affirmative and negative adverbs that we talked about, those are almost always to what extent. Okay? Okay, which one are we on? 14, Amelia. 15.
Okay, well, this one I got really confused on, but I'll do it. I think I underlined any. Is that wrong?
Mm-mm.
Wait, that's right?
No, that's not right.
Oh,
We've kind of gone over this one before. Ian, can you do this one, 15?
No.
You can't. Josie, can you do 15?
I can try.
What did you underline as the adverb?
Well, I originally underlined what she said, but I guess it could be there.
It's there,
Underline there?
underline there, and what would be the verb it's describing? Will be. Now, you guys, if you need any help, some of you were probably thinking help is a verb.
Yes.
But in this case, it's being used as a noun. Will you need what? Help. So any is an adjective, modifying help. Okay, 16, Tracy.
Wait, what was 15? Like, what was the,
Where? Where?
Oh, where?
Okay, gracefully, I have underlined, and then dance, I have circled.
Good. So gracefully danced. What's the question?
How?
How? Okay, 17, Amelia. Let's try this again.
oh goodness. I still think I'm getting it wrong, 'cause it doesn't look like the adverb to me.
Okay.
Is goodbye the adverb?
No. Mm-mm. Okay, who else could do? These ones are hard. Hudson? 17.
Okay, so the adverb I had yesterday.
Yesterday's your adverb.
Modifies the left,
Uh-huh.
and it's when.
When. Okay, so the when and the where. Like yesterday, tomorrow, this morning. All of those could be nouns, but they're being used as adverbs. So this is tricky. We're seeing a dual purpose. Charlotte.
Why isn't after that? It's telling her when.
Okay, oh, Charlotte. Because that entire prepositional phrase is adverbial. So you're picking up on something, but it's that whole phrase, not the single word. Okay?
Do you want me to do the next one?
I would love for you to. 18.
18, I got you. I got learn and tamales circled and easily underlined.
Okay, which one's your adverb?
The adverb is easily.
Easily. And what it modifies is learned. You don't need the tamales, just learned. And I'm sorry there's an infinitive there. That kind of muddies it. But the question it's answering is what? How? Good. 19, Leah. Okay, thank you, Matt. That was good. What is the adverb in 19?
That's the name of my jazz teacher. That's so cool.
Oh, sorry, I just thought somebody said something.
Lots of people said something. Can you do 19 though?
Oh, yeah, so I said that often was the adverb, and it modifies goes, and I said when.
It's, yeah, I put how.
I put where.
It's definitely not where.
I think why.
How many people put when? Okay.
Wait,
So here's the thing. What they've done is they've given you 4 of the adverb questions, and this actually answers a different adverb question, so I'm not too concerned about it. I think how or when would be fine. For the sake of time, I'm going to read the rest of the answers. So just get these,
Okay, that's.
okay? Because we've got to get to our next piece. So 19, diligently is the adverb. It modifies rehearsed, and it answers the question how. 21, heavily is the adverb. It modifies pound and pounded, and it answers the question how. 22, soon is the adverb, and it modifies had finished, and it answers the question when. Okay, 23, this one was hard. It's please. Eli, you got it all done and all right? You should be checking your answers. Okay, turn around, Matt. Eyes on your page. Okay.
And then it's get.
Okay, so please modifies will get. If you just got get, that's fine. That answers, now that one is very hard, but I would say how.
I said here and bring.
And here is the second one,
Oh.
and it modifies bring, and it answers the question where. So you actually had two.
Okay, so the first one was please.
Please.
And will get.
Will get. That's the only one with two.
And what is that one called?
Please is an adverb that answers how, and here is an adverb that answers where.
Got it.
24 next is an adverb that modifies diced, and it answers when. And finally, completely is the adverb in 25 that modifies free, and it answers to what extent. Okay. Now, I wanted you to struggle through that because I want you to get used to asking those questions. Those are 4 fundamental questions. And we're going to add the other questions in now. So the thing that you guys are finding, and I'm encouraged you're doing this, you have to ask questions. And sometimes a word is serving more than one purpose. So this is a very important sheet that you guys need to keep in your grammar section. Thank you. So what I've done here is I've listed all the different questions. Can you turn it on the front side that says how, when, where across the front? Okay. So we've got our little chant. Now, what I've done is I've given you some sample adverbs. So you can see how, quickly, easily, secretly, slowly, methodically. So these are many ly words, but fast and well are in there also. You got it? You should be following along. This. Okay, hang with me. I know this is hard. We've got 10 more minutes. When? Now these are the tricky ones because many of these could be a noun. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, soon, now, later, soon again, already, last year. Okay, so all of those, they could be nouns, but they can act as adverbs. Where? And so you've got anywhere, somewhere, towards, away, back, there, here. So, and a noun, again, can sometimes be used as an adverb, especially in a prepositional phrase. Why? So why is usually answered by a phrase or clause, and we're going to talk about adverbial phrases and adverbial clauses. Charlotte kind of was getting to that with her question, but they're going to answer a question. So look at because. You know a dependent clause starts with because, so that a clause that starts with because is going to be an adverbial clause. Okay, flip it to the back. So then we have to what extent. And this goes to Josie's question. They are showing degree, and they're often, not always, but often used in comparison. So more or most would be used with like more loudly, most loudly, higher, highest, later, latest. And then almost, quite, very, fully, never. All of those would be to what extent. They're showing the degree. And then did I list on there affirmation and negation?
Yes.
Okay, so those words we talked about, those are almost always to what extent. Now, would you write one more thing at the bottom? Under to what extent? Usually modify an adjective or another adverb. So write that here. Usually modify an adjective or another adverb. Under to what extent? Make sure you're in the right place, because if you, no, not how here. Usually modify an adjective or another adverb. Okay, now, here's the one that if you had it, it might have made a difference on your homework. How often? How often? Frequently. You can write the word often under that, continuously, occasionally, repeatedly. Anything that's showing the amount of, like how often. That's an adverb. And then you have how much. It's not now, how many is an adjective question. And how many is more of a counting thing. But how much is more of a generalization. So fully, almost, rather, entirely, a lot. And then lastly is under what condition, and that is answered by a phrase or clause. Okay? So when you're doing homework, if you are not sure about whether something's an adverb or not, look here. And I will tell you, yesterday, my 6th period class was asking such excellent questions that I resorted to, and I'll tell you guys, this is an easy way I can tell what part of speech something is. If I'm not sure, like the word please, look at dictionary.com and you look and see what part of speech does it define it as. It's an adverb.
Did you say 6th grade?
6th period.
Oh, okay, this is 6th grade.
Let me tell you, 6th grade could not do this, and many 11th graders couldn't do this, truly.
So is that mean that I can't do
You guys are smart. No, Matt, it's admirable that you're trying to do it, okay? For all of you. Now, I'm gonna give you this homework, and can you give one to Dominic? The thing I want to say to you, and I do think this is a review for most of you.
Yeah, I need another one.
Who needs? Okay, everybody's got one. Okay, so on today's homework, what you're going to do, in fact, Josie, can you read the instructions?
Yes, label the parts of speech and diagram.
Okay, so you are labeling all the parts of speech because at this point, you've had them. And please do abbreviations. Please don't spell them out. So you're gonna do that, and then the ones that are starred, and I don't know why this, huh?
You put them below the verb.
I'm getting ready to show you.
It's like adjective.
So, hey, directions, it says diagram. You're not diagramming them all. Only diagram the ones that are starred, so that's 7. Okay? Okay, for my remote learners, you're doing the same worksheet, and you are not diagramming number 1. Okay? That is your cue today. Okay, so let's look at how do you diagram adverbs. Well, if an adverb modifies a verb or an adjective or another adverb, it's going to go under the verb that it modifies. So here's one example. Amelia danced gracefully. How did she dance gracefully? Now, don't get confused with the question, what? Remember, what would be going up here as a direct object? So this is where those adverb questions are very helpful. If it answers one of those 8 questions, you know it's an adverb. Okay? How? Okay, now here's another one. Henry Gates is an exceptionally talented writer. So here's our subject. Here's the verb, which is a linking verb. This is a predicate nominative. And you would know to put the adjective under that, but exceptionally does not describe writer. They're not an exceptionally writer. They're exceptionally talented, so it would come off of the adjective. Okay? So an adverb is a type of modifier. It is always going to be on a diagonal line, and it's always going to come off of the word that it modifies. So this would not make grammatical sense, but let's say we had an adverb modifying another adverb. Again, this doesn't make sense. We wouldn't say very exceptionally talented, okay? But this gives you an idea. You will bring it off of the word that it modifies. So most of the times off of a verb, sometimes off of an adjective, sometimes off of an adverb, okay? Okay, so you guys have got, I'm sorry we're not going outside, but you've got 2 minutes. I've got to check off a few more people's notebooks.
Wait, would then be an adverb? What is then?
Yes, then is an adverb.